What's up, y'all? Daveeezy, we back with another video. I ain't gonna waste no time. Y'all see the thumbnail and title, y'all. Let's get right into it. Let's go.
Donald Trump arrived at the Manhattan District Attorney criminal trial on day 7, week 2, not looking well, looking very panicked, and talking about how he thinks he's going to win the state of New York in the 2024 election. This is what he's talking about. And as he arrived in court, he was hit right away with another application by the Manhattan District Attorney to hold him in contempt. Again, the other contempt motion, there was a hearing that was held earlier in the week for that. Justice Merchan had reserved ruling on that. And thereafter, Donald Trump had given a number of interviews and made a number of statements that further violated the gag order that's in place. And one of those was identified by our editorial team at MidasTouch.com, where Donald Trump accused the jury of being unfair to him, of being 95% Democrats. And I guess it should be noted that nothing Donald Trump says is even logical at all. Like, his lies and his disinformation and propaganda are bad. Just think about what I just said, though, too. Donald Trump arrives saying that he's going to win New York. He thinks that the New Yorkers love him. And then on the other hand, Donald Trump is out there on right-wing media saying that it's unfair. He can't get a fair jury pool. He needs to leave New York. It's 95% Democrat. So just think about that. So let me show you what went down. Donald Trump arrived in court today. And by the way, the background of all the things that are taking place, you have an oral argument before the United States Supreme Court occurring at that exact same moment where Donald Trump's claiming absolute presidential immunity. And let me not mince words, folks. Donald Trump's lawyer argued to the United States Supreme Court as Donald Trump was walking into the Manhattan criminal trial. Trump's lawyer before the Supreme Court said, yes, Trump can order the military to kill his political opponents. Yes, Donald Trump could sell nuclear secrets. Yes, Donald Trump could launch a coup against the United States of America because those are official acts and Trump would be subject to immunity.
Wow.
That's exactly what Donald Trump's lawyer was saying in Washington, D.C., while Donald Trump was walking into the Manhattan criminal trial. And you had David Pecker testifying, more on that in a moment. But this is Donald Trump arriving at the Manhattan trial and saying that I think we're going to win New York. I'm going to the Bronx. I'm going to hold a rally at Madison Square Garden. Here, play this clip.
And I think we have a good chance of winning New York. We're going to give it a big play. We're going to the South Bronx to do a rally. We're going to be doing a rally at Madison Square Garden, we believe. We think we're signing Madison Square Garden to do it. We're going to have a big rally honoring.
So that's what he's talking about. We think we're going to have a big rally in Madison Square Garden. By the way, there was another rally that was held in Madison Square Garden in the 1930s by Nazis who were also using the label about making America great again and some of the same iconography that Trump and MAGA are using. Maybe that's why his mind went to holding something in Madison Square Garden, or as he says, Madison Square Garden, I believe. Let's take a look at this next clip of Donald Trump arriving, where once again he spreads the lie that nobody, that the MAGA supporters want to be there by the court, but because there's this lockdown, which we've debunked, we've had people go to the courtroom and make videos showing that it's not locked down. There's like one person there who's a MAGA supporter outside. If Trump protesters wanted to show up, they could. They're not showing up because none of his supporters want to protest for him there. They saw what happened last time that went down, okay? Here's Donald Trump saying, they can't arrive. My protesters aren't going to show up. Here, play this clip.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce.
But we had a country that was respected, and now we have a country that's a joke. It's being laughed at all over the world, and you have riots at all the universities. The only place that's locked down is this courthouse because they don't want any supporters here. They don't want MAGA here. They don't want anybody here. This thing is locked down like a buttoned-up vest. And it shouldn't be. If they did the same lockdown in Columbia, NYU, and the colleges and universities, you'd have no problem whatsoever. But there you can put tents up, you can stay as long as you want. But this courthouse is locked down. There's not a person within 5 blocks. They have more police here than, and I call them New York's finest because that's what they are. And they don't want to be doing this either. They like to be straightening out conditions, and they like to be at the colleges and making sure that they don't have what's happening, because what's happening at the colleges is a disgrace. All over the world, people are laughing at us. This is the worst run country right now, probably anywhere, just about. You don't get much worse. We have a president who's a disaster. We have a president who's the worst president in the history of our country. All you have to do is look at the millions of people coming in from prisons, from mental institutions and terrorists. They're coming in at levels we've never seen before. So I'm going to go in now and sit in front of a case, election interference. This is the way they think they're going to get elected. But I guess based on what I'm looking at, it's driving up my poll numbers. Not driving them down. Thank you very much.
Quite literally, everything that individual says is a lie.
It's a lie.
Word for word, lie, 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 lie. And as we watch what was unfolding in court today, as Donald Trump's former colleague, David Pecker, who used to lead a company called AMI, which was the parent company of National Enquirer, went in detail about the deal, about the arrangement between him and Donald Trump, where David Pecker and the National Enquirer would quite literally draft stories on behalf of Donald Trump that were fake, that were fraudulent, that were defamatory, that were lies, to attack Donald Trump's political opponents. So then in 2016, 2015, Donald Trump would say, hey, I read this article. Did you see that on this article? They're saying I had nothing to do with this at all. And then David Pecker testified about how the scheme and scam evolved to the point where they would actually kill these stories, first for a doorman, then for a woman named Karen McDougal, who Donald Trump had an affair with. And then they started talking about how it was that David Pecker tried to structure this purposefully to violate campaign finance laws, that this was done knowingly and intentionally and maliciously. And ultimately, David Pecker and the National Enquirer and AMI entered into a non-prosecution agreement with the federal government where they had to testify about everything that went down. But David Pecker has laid it all out. And then David Pecker started talking about when it finally came to Stormy Daniels, that Pecker thought that he was even uncomfortable buying out the story from a porn star, and said, like, I'm not going to. I did the Karen McDougal one. I did the other one. I'm not comfortable doing Stormy Daniels. Trump and Cohen, you could go out and do this one on your own. And then they did. I mean, Pecker's been an absolutely devastating witness for Donald Trump. But as Trump is in there, arriving in court, spouting the lies, it's worth noting that you have one case. There's three things going on, almost there are four things going on at the same time, right? You've got a case in Manhattan, criminal trial against Donald Trump for interfering, manipulating the 2016 election by engaging in these campaign finance schemes and by having these fraudulent business records. And we see the efforts to which Donald Trump went about to manipulate all of these news articles and to lie and to push out all of these lies and propaganda. Then in Washington, D.C., you have oral arguments where Trump tried to topple a free and fair election, and his lawyer argues this is what should be allowed. This is what our founders wanted. They wanted kings and authoritarians. Just straight up arguing that in front of the United States Supreme Court. And then you have Donald Trump just doing it again in 2024, relying not on the National Enquirer this time. This time it's Fox. This time it's Newsmax. This time it's all the right-wing media that spreads the lies. He's got somebody quite literally in the courtroom whose job is to follow him around with the portable printer to print out the articles from the right-wing media that he's manipulating, that he likes, to show you those headlines and push his narratives over and over again, and then rely on the legacy media to not do their job at all and hold him accountable. You think it's going to be on the front page of the New York Times or of any legacy major media that Donald Trump's lawyer argued that he should be able to assassinate political rivals, sell our nuclear secrets, accept bribes? Do you think that's what's going to be talked about? Or you think they're going to write a headline, difficult arguments that the Supreme Court is grappling with on complex legal doctrine or something stupid like that? Come on. Give me a break. And then the fourth thing that happened is in the E. Jean Carroll matter, where Donald Trump sought a motion for a new trial there. Let me just read for you this opening paragraph. Just happened moments ago from federal judge Lewis Kaplan. Here's what he said, denying Donald Trump's motion for a new trial. Just think about this. This isn't happening in federal court. The jury, not a judge, the jury in a closely related case previously found that Donald Trump forcibly sexually abused plaintiff E. Jean Carroll in the mid-1990s and maliciously defamed her in an October 2022 statement. In this case, another jury awarded Ms. Carroll $17.3 million in compensatory and $65 million in punitive damages against Mr. Trump for defaming her in two other statements that Mr. Trump issued from the White House. Mr. Trump now moves for a new trial or alternatively for a judgment as a matter of law dismissing this case, and that's denied. Just think about that language. A jury in two separate cases. In one case, found that Donald Trump forcibly sexually abused E. Jean Carroll and then maliciously defamed her. Then another jury found that he maliciously defamed her again.
Wow.
What are we even talking about, folks? Anyway, hit subscribe. We're on our way to 3 million subscribers here. Thank you for watching our continuing coverage of all of this on the Midas Touch Network. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Midas Touch. We're going to like that video and look at these comments. Somebody in the comment section told me to get better at reading. You're right, kid. I've been out of school for a long time. I'm sick and tired of Trump saying America is a terrible place. If he doesn't like it, he can move to Moscow. Trump is the reason the world is laughing. All around the world, people are laughing at Trump. If only it wasn't so serious. Reporters challenge Trump on his bullshit. Interrupt him, hold him accountable for his lies in the moment. Break up his pity party. Don't give him a voice enough. Something wrong with Trump, man. Like I just got into all this, man. I can already tell something wrong with this man. Just the lies. I'm really into politics, but I'm trying to get into it, man. It's a lot to take in right now, but it's not. Like, the man seems guilty as hell. Like, yeah, let me know down in the comment section what y'all think, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Midas Touch on YouTube and like all their videos because they're amazing and they make amazing content. But I gotta get into the next video, y'all. I ain't gonna waste no time. If you like the video, like the video. If you're nice, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload, y'all. I love y'all. Peace and love, baby.